Well, obviously from our end, we hope that the Philippine Stock Exchange becomes the central fundraising mechanism for many companies. We look at ourselves as kind of being very much in the middle of all economic activity, helping companies expand themselves by being able to raise money through the stock exchange, and helping investors actually improve their diversification of savings and investment alternatives by being able to buy and invest in companies that are listed in the stock exchange. So we hope with that we actually contribute to even the government's plans of improved growth in the economy. Oh, sure. Obviously, we're trying to upgrade in terms of many things, including technology. So having, in this case, an NYSE Technologies product as our base engine is an important thing, because clearly this product is something that's used, well, first of all, in New York and also used by other exchanges, including some in the ASEAN region. We actually just bought, for example, from the Koreans, what we're calling a surveillance system. This is a system that plugs into the trading engine. It helps us monitor broker-dealer behavior, and actually it's going to be with our sister, well, actually an independent company called Capital Markets Integrity Corporation, right, to monitor broker-dealer behavior. So this particular software is state-of-the-art in terms of having, you know, all the mathematical models to try and... We're trying to upgrade even our, let's call it our own most basic portal to the outside world, which is our website. So even that we're under, of course that's a never-ending project. Clearly there's a need to have technology that's at least up to par, maybe not the most sophisticated, but allows us to create confidence that we're getting there, at least for the needs of primarily Philippines-based. We think we're at least now at the stage where we can say, okay, we're now the 21st century of base technology. I guess, first of all, human resources in terms of professionalism of the people who are in the exchange, as well as the financial service industry, is probably as good as where you can find it in the, you know, regional financial centers. There's a whole host of professionals who have been schooled in probably the top schools, both not just in the Philippines but around the world. I think secondly, in terms of regulation, we have been working very well with the Securities and Exchange Commission, as well as ourselves, in terms of looking at many issues holistically. Maybe our pet project from the exchange perspective is in fact saying, how can you make it easier for companies to list? And I think one of the best comparables that we've had so far is that there's been a survey by, I guess it's the Japan External Trade Organization, which ranks us as a pretty high, if not near the top of the Southeast Asian economies, including China, by the way. And that takes into consideration not just cheap labor, but it takes into consideration ability to communicate, you know, kind of like the level of sophistication of the professional management class, relative ease of doing business. Although I think in the financial services sector, you also see a lot of it now being recognized, because a lot of the support of the BPOs goes to supporting financial services organizations. You'll see that even the largest multinationals, JP Morgan, Citigroup, HSBC, having a lot of their shared services here in the Philippines. So probably the message to anyone outside, and of course now going to the stock market, is that we are looking at additional ways to make it easier to list in the Philippines, not just for local investors, and also easier ways working with others and the regulatory function to actually invest in the Philippines. So the idea here is to try and make the Philippines an easier destination to do business with overall. And I think if you look at the stock market, let's say performance over the last 6 months, last 3 months, or even all of last year, there's probably some proof that that it's not too difficult, despite maybe complaints, to do business here and come in as an investor. The importance here is helping companies such that they're able to not just do their basic job, but also make sure that they also contribute back to their own community. One of the things that we talk about and we give points in, so to speak, is CSR reporting. You might argue our own CSR efforts are very much linked towards the education point of view. All these partnership issues that we do with the Department of Education and the high schools and even the colleges are basically that in supporting the educational part of maybe capital market development on one end, which, as you know, the government does not have much of a budget for to start off with. Secondly, at least from the exchange perspective, we tend to be active primarily during disaster. Unfortunately, during disaster situations, wherein we've been called upon essentially for resources when you have these major storms, floods, earthquakes that unfortunately regularly hit our country. We've also called for, as part of this CSR initiative, that companies who participate in this economy should be quite mindful that they give back to the community which they service. So it goes back to the issue of not only are they telling investors what they do, but they're also telling investors we're also good for our own community. And one of the current debates right now has to do with the mining sector. In this case, we're very much supportive of environmental standards. I always think that that's not just good PR, it's actually good practice.
For more videos, please visit www.voicesofthephilippines.com.